Hey, my name is Shadowsense, and you're watching Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York. Last episode, we hung out with the Malkavian, Hope, who was running an entirely fake cam show. So we still have, half the night to go. So we got a strange invitation to a church. Yeah, at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. We could go meet a Nosferatu, a Gangrel, or we can go hang out with Agathon again. And possibly meet the character Juno. I want to meet Tamika, because she sounds cool. Sophie mentioned a Gangrel neonate by the name of Tamika who's made herself a haven in Prospect Park. The Ferals aren't exactly a social bunch, even by kindred standards, but if you can keep her from clawing your eyes out just long enough, she might be persuaded to join you. Sure. You make your way through the Grand Army Plaza, passing the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Arch. You can't help but feel a tinge of nostalgia as you picture the place as you've seen it countless times, in broad daylight, teeming with life. You quickly get over it and pass through the Northwest Gate and into Prospect Park. The park is its usual maze of unkept foliage and dimly lit alleys. Silence hangs in the air as it would at this time of night, and there doesn't appear to be any sign of kindred presence. You start to suspect Langley's sources fed her a bunch of bullshit, but you're not willing to give up just yet. As you ponder your options, you hear footsteps coming from behind a line of trees. Quick, but evenly paced. Most likely a late-night jogger. No vampire would take kindly to you feeding in their domain, but then again, perhaps you could kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, not gonna... I feel like I don't need to feed right now. Just gonna try to find the hideout. You head south, delving deeper into the less frequented section of the park. Passing a babbling stream, you make your way into the ravine. Home to some of the oldest trees in the park, it's the place to go when you want to get away from the crowd and enjoy some one-on-one with nature. And that's during the day. At night, it's bound to be a Gangrel's delight. Making your way through the brush, you come across a rocky crevice hidden behind a wobbly chain-link fence. You leap over the fence in a single bound, trying to land as quietly as kindredly possible. Get it? Because you're not human anymore, so you can't do it as quietly as humanly possible. The crevice looks deep enough for you to think twice about jumping in. Instead, you peer into the darkness below, listening intently. In a split second, the air by the side of your head swirls like a vortex. Driven by sheer instinct, you lean back just as a five-finger-shaped razors cut through the darkness, missing your face by an inch. A clawed shadow jumps back a few paces, preparing to correct its mistake. You catch a glimpse of the assailant. Looks pretty animalistic, alright, but he's not the one you're looking for. For starters, it's a he. Just as he's about to lunge at you, a snarl resounds from the bushes nearby, stopping your foe in their tracks. Out of the shadows emerges a young woman, baring her teeth ever so slightly. She walks over, calmly, her eyes fixed on your assailant. Her presence is enough to make him reconsider attacking you, but not to withdraw completely. He glances over to her, puffing up his chest. Stay out of it, Tam. I smelled him first. Tam. How about that? She raises an eyebrow, but remains silent. Her compatriot turns back towards you. You shouldn't have come here, pretty boy. I'm gonna fuck you up so bad you'll be wearing your tongue as a fucking necktie. Tamika looks at you expectantly. Easy there, big shot. You made your point, okay? Confirm badass. Not looking for a fight. Tamika tilts her head in a way that's barely noticeable and yet strangely expressive. She seems disappointed. The man loosens up, his lips twisting into a wry smile. Clearly, it just gave him the confidence boost he needed. Funny, you don't look like a pussy. You don't smell like one either. So why you acting like one, huh? Well, guess what? You ain't getting off that easy, chicken shit. A fierce growl echoes throughout the alley, stopping the savage in his tracks. Tamika walks over to her comrade, her fangs glistening in the dim lamplight. She puts her hand on the side of his head, caressing his hair and tugging at his ear as if she were scolding a puppy. She leans over and speaks in a voice that's firm yet oddly affectionate. It's okay, Raoul. I'll handle it from here. The male gangrel looks at her with a mix of timidity and resentment. Then he turns back towards you. Fine. They're not worth the effort anyway. Having said his piece, Raoul retreats into the shadows, although if you were to guess, he's likely to stay within earshot. With her companion gone, Tamika turns to you once more. What do you want? Straight to the point, huh? I like that. I don't care what you like. Now quit stalling. You have something to say it. Come with an offer. I'm willing to offer my services, such as they are. All I would hope for in return is a fruitful, long-lasting relationship. So, you want me to help with something because you want to be my friend. That about right? Well, sounded better the way I said it, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Uh-huh. She puts on a veneer of skepticism, but you can tell she's intrigued. That's very earnest of you. It's also kind of silly, but I think I'm okay with it. What I'm not okay with is putting my ass on the line and getting stabbed in the back for my trouble. So why exactly should I trust anything you say? Bringing up the past seems like a bad idea. Don't expect you to. Not yet, anyway. Good, because my trust is earned, not given. So that's a yes? Because it sounded like a yes. For a brief moment, she stands there, motionless, looking straight into your eyes as if trying to size you up. Finally, she looks away. Looks like she's come to a decision. Just so that we're clear, I don't trust you. I have no reason to. Frankly, you sound more lost than I am. Still, you have that earnest look about you. Naive, almost. I can tell you believe what you're saying. So, I'll give you a chance to prove yourself. I have some outstanding business to take care of. I'll let you know once that's done. Meet me here and we'll see what you're really made of. And with that, Tamika disappears into the night. That went pretty well, all things considered. It sure did. We should rest up. Let the night pass. This seems like the general resting time. Not long after you wake up, Gregory knocks on the door of your apartment. Hey, I came to pick you up. Miss Langley wants to see you. Any idea what she needs me for? I'm not in the position to ask. He smiles politely. The car's waiting. Shall we? You wrestle with the same thoughts as a few nights ago. Maybe you should just leave? Disappear? Let Sophie find somebody else to employ? But then you remember the Anarch thug being cut down by Kadir and how close you were to the same fate not even a week ago, and that it might still happen if you step out of line. You follow suit. As with your previous visit here, Sophie seems not entirely present when you enter. Her eyes are locked onto one of the paintings in the room. You're pretty sure it was here earlier, but she's behaving as if she's seeing it for the first time in her life, entirely entranced. Gregory clears his throat. Sophie turns to the both of you, a bit of irritation in her countenance that soon gives way to a pleasant, warm smile. You're here. Excellent. Thank you, Gregory. Her driver leaves and she turns her attention to you. I hope you had a good few nights and made some new acquaintances, but I have to say, I'm happy to see you, Shadow. Thank you for coming. The change in mood of the room is so sudden and startling, it makes you consider the true power of vampiric charisma. Rationally, you know you're being manipulated, but you don't even care. Her eyes, her motions, her entire body language all feel 100% genuine in expressing legitimate interest in you and your well-being. I have a request for you this night. I need you to find somebody for me and make a delivery. She points to the statue at the side of the room. You notice it's a plain-looking flash drive lying on the edge where the inanimate archer's bow touches the pedestal. The man you'll be looking for calls himself Kaiser. He has eyes and ears all over New York, and it's rare for something to happen here without his knowledge. I'll need you to take this flash drive and bring it to him. In exchange, he will give you an address, which I need to know as soon as possible. You're about to ask what's on that drive, but Sophie proves to be one step ahead of you. Oh, don't worry about the contents. They are encrypted, a precaution for if the data falls into the wrong hands. But it won't, correct? She gives you a smile that, just a handful of nights ago, would make you feel like melting. Oh, and Shadow. Kaiser is a Nosferatu, that twisted, deformed lineage of kindred. He is old, and his age has made him even more paranoid than the other of his clan tend to be. He holds many havens and changes them often. From what I've gathered, he or one of his servants should be found at the park in Coney Island tonight. You'll have to identify them somehow. I'm told Kaiser has spent many of his nights these past few years being driven around the city in a black limo. Maybe keep an eye out for it. That smile again, but much shorter. Anything more you could tell me about Kaiser? He's been here a long time, about as long as I have. He got into a lot of trouble for exchanging information with both the Anarchs and the Camarilla in the past, but ultimately got off scot-free. Kaiser's web of information proved to be strong enough to shield him from the consequences of playing both sides. Some say that's the best proof of his abilities. In any case, be careful when talking to him. He's very particular about everyone's etiquette except his own. Good night, and good luck. She flashes one last smile at you and turns back to the painting, clearly done with the conversation. You pocket the flash drive and head out towards Coney Island. It takes you the better part of an hour to reach the lights and sounds of the Coney Island amusement park from the city. The drive is almost pleasant this time of night. Thank God for Belt Parkway. There are plenty of people here tonight, but nobody who stands out as a traveling purveyor of secrets. Then again, if they did stand out, it would be kind of pointless, right? Nothing to do but figure out the right approach. Feeding opportunity on a bum. I probably don't need... Is there a way to keep track of my hunger? Because I don't feel like I need to eat. Let's just take a look around. There are plenty of nooks and crannies to investigate around here, but if Kaiser frequents this area, there has to be some kind of clue to grab onto, right? You spend a good hour snooping around, eyes peeled for the black limo Sophie mentioned, or any sign that a Nosferatu, or any vampire, has their haven around these parts. Zilch. Annoyed, you turn back toward the lights of the amusement park, only to find a man standing in your way. Wearing an oversized jacket, he had the air of a junkie or dealer about him. Who knows what he's got in those pockets? You lost? No, I'm not lost. Just taking in the sights. Sure you are. He looks at you intently, like he's trying to guess your real purpose here. Get out of here before I kick your ass. Why is everybody so on edge? It's scary. Chill, I'm just looking for a guy. Drives around in a black limo. Stops here sometimes. Ring any bells? No idea who you're yapping about. He's a terrible liar, clearly full of shit. Ooh, I'm gonna intimidate. Listen, man, I need you to contact your boss, and I need you to do it now. Quit wasting my time, or things will get unpleasant real soon. He doesn't take that well. He reaches into his pocket, produces a gun. You rush him. Bang. The bullet hits you in the arm and goes out the other side. It hurts, but what would be a debilitating wound for a mortal is just a nasty scratch for you. It takes a bit of brawling. The man's stronger than you'd expect, but using your powers, you're able to overcome him. With a few hits to the jaw, the man passes out from the pain. Searching him, you find a fancy phone that doesn't look like anything readily available in the market. The phone's locked, but a recent smudge on the screen gives you a rough idea of what the combination might be. You get it right on the second try. There's just one number in the phone book, unlabeled. You dial it to hear someone pick up. The voice is like a rusty pitchfork scraping against gravel. Jackie, you're messing up my snuff session here. It better be something big. I don't know why I'm giving them that voice, but it said rusty, so Come to Coney Island. I'll be waiting. Silence. Not even a sound. The call ends. You try calling again, but the number is blocked. Nothing to do but wait and see if he shows up. Not 15 minutes pass before a black limo starts near where you're waiting. One door opens in an invitation. The inside of the limo used to be a luxury lounge, the kind with a stripper pole and a bar full of alcohol, but it currently has none of that. Instead, there are monitors and consoles. There are dozens of displays, each one showing something different. Surveillance camera footage, stock market quotes, television news, emails, tweets, silent movies, lo-fi footage of a gory torture session. You wonder if the limo's owner can focus on anything while surrounded by all of this visual noise and then realize nobody's there. Or is there? A man blinks into existence on a leather-covered couch, attempting to maintain something that approximates a regal presence. You're 100% sure. It's Kaiser. Surrounded by dimly lit computer screens, his features are even more ghastly than you imagined. All sharp angles of twisted bone, mangled flesh, and crooked teeth. He bears them in an awful parody of a smile. Suddenly, someone grabs you from behind, twists your arm, and pushes your head against the car's roof. I got them, boss! Wrong person. I wanted to do that voice really bad, so it just came out. I got them, boss. I have them. The Nosferatu chuckles. Oh, congratulations, dickweed. Could have done that before we gave away the fucking phone. Just let them go already. But... you're going to make me repeat myself, you thick motherfucker? He lets go. You take a look at him. The man is confused and clearly hurting. He flashes you an angry stare, but obeys his boss's orders to the letter. What, are you waiting for a formal invitation? Get in the car. We have some talking to do. The door closes behind you. Well, I'm here and I'm pissed. Unless you have a death wish, I assume there's something you have for me. Do indulge me or start figuring out how to drink blood with your fangs up your shitter. You reluctantly pull the flash drive from your pocket and slowly pass it to Kaiser. He plugs it into a USB port on the arm of his chair and displays the data on one of the screens that happen to be turned away from you. It takes him about a minute to access the data. Let me guess. This from Langley? She said she'd have something like this. You her new flunky? You have to bite your tongue to keep from arguing the word he chose, but you nod. Who do you people think I am? I saw this footage a week ago. He removes the flash drive and throws it back at you in disgust. Tell Sophie the deal's off. She wants her address, she can give me something else. He's older than Sophie, so presents might not work on him. Let me try using my presence? You take on the most persuasive voice and amicable stance you can in what basically constitutes a layer of a megalomaniacal monster. Come on, man, don't send me back empty-handed. Take the data and honor the deal. It'd mean a lot to me. The sound the Nosferatu produces is supposed to be laughter, you think. You're pretty sure he'll fall over and die at any second if it's anything other than that. Ooh, ah. Look at me, I'm so pretty and well-spoken. I'm gonna feed you this bullshit and you're gonna cram it in and ask for seconds. Who the fuck do you think you are? You know what I should do to you for trying to pull that trick on me? I should mutilate your face and rub sulfur in the wounds. Rip your tongue out and use it to stuff a fucking turkey. Only see, I'm in a gracious mood tonight. Plus I hate turkeys. They disgust me. So I'm going to give you a chance to make this little transgression up to me. I'll contact you. Maybe I'll even throw in this stupid address to Langley so Langley can shove it up her cunt. But right now, unless you want me to get really pissed off, you'll show yourself out. You're pretty sure you're done here. You get out, close the door behind you, and the car immediately starts backing up. The opaque windows slide past you, and soon the limo's on its way. Kaiser's lackey is nowhere to be seen, so you make your way to your car and drive back, wondering what tomorrow brings. That guy was intense. And scary. Let's see what the church is up to. Or maybe I lead the last person that I need to meet. A Nosferatu neonate by the name of D'Angelo. Sure, let's go meet D'Angelo. As you make your way down Clinton Street, the incessant hum of the traffic gives way to the ominous silence of the waterfront. You stop to take in the familiar bouquet of the Hudson, made all the more potent by your recently sharpened senses. Across the basin, the Red Hook grain terminal rears its rusty frame. Once a bustling industrial area, now a sleeping giant splayed out on the riverbank, forgotten, abandoned. Conveniently so, especially for one of the hidden. Keeping to the shadows, you sneak closer to the dilapidated complex, making your way past hole-ridden silos and wobbly chain-link fences. By the time you reach the entrance to the main building, you can almost feel the rust particles making themselves cozy at the back of your throat. Not getting your hopes up, you give the door a light nudge. To your surprise, it gives almost instantly. Looks like someone's been using it recently. Once inside, you find yourself in a large, empty hall. Looking around, you can almost picture it back in its heyday, stacked to the rafters with heavy machinery. You notice a set of stairs leading up to a mezzanine, most likely an office space. Then you see it, a faint light coming from one of the upper rooms. Looks like you're in luck. Quietly, with bated breath, you climb the steps and approach a dimly lit room. The door creaks open, revealing what looks like an old-timey detective's office, complete with crooked window blinds, an overflowing ashtray, and paper scattered across a wooden desk. Suddenly it hits you, that nagging feeling. This is all too convenient, too inviting. Before you can react, the trap is already sprung. A plume of cigar smoke wafts over your shoulder, the barrel of a gun against your spine. A raspy voice whispers in your ear. Let me guess, took a wrong turn at the third silo? You decide to play along. Raising your arms slowly, you weigh your next words carefully. You're pretty sure a bullet to the back wouldn't kill you, but it doesn't sound too pleasant either. I really like this first choice here, but I'm gonna play it easy. Easy now. Let's not do anything rash. That's good advice, kid. I suggest you take it. Any way you want to play this, I'm all in. So what'll it be? The easy way or the hard way? Let's go with easy. I'm here to talk. Good call. In a strange interplay of light and shadow, the stranger reappears behind his desk. Yeah, because Nosferatu can like blend in with the shadows and make themselves basically invisible. Jasper does it all the time in LA by night, and it's great. Seeing him in his full, for lack of a better word, glory, you can't help but smirk. This is the dreaded Nosferatu? The way Sophie described them, you were expecting some grotesque monstrosity. But this guy? The clothes, the swagger, the hard-boiled detective routine, it all comes across as a bad joke. Still, when it comes to appearance, his lineage is undeniable. From 30 feet away, he could probably pass for a bum with a nasty skin condition. From 5 feet away, he looks like anything made to be seen from 30 feet away. He leans back in his chair, casually pointing his gun at you. So, what brings you to my humble office? You the one they call D'Angelo? That's my name, kid. Don't wear it out. The friends call me Jin, so you best stick to D'Angelo for the time being. Now, I suggest you tell me what this is about. Otherwise, I kindly ask you to get the fuck out of my office. Charming. I can see why Kadir keeps you around. His expression sours. Not a name you want to casually toss around, kid. But hey, I get it. You're not some random schmuck who wandered in here off the street. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Who I work for is less important. What I'm working on, however... The Red Hook murders. I know. I want to help you catch a killer. His moldy lips twist into a smile. Do you now? D'Angelo lowers his shades. For a few seconds, he sits motionless with his eyes fixed on yours. Suddenly, he raises his gun, almost making you flinch. Almost. Then he twirls it into his shoulder holster in a flashy display that definitely looks like it was practiced. A lot. In front of a mirror. You see the Nosferatu's lips move, but the quiet mumbling clearly isn't meant for your ears. Listening in, you're able to catch snippets of his monologue. Sure, they seem to care. What was the endgame? What was their angle? Everyone's got one, even if they pretend they don't. Especially then. What the hell, maybe this town finally got to me. He pauses, sticks a fresh cigar between his crooked teeth. Maybe a good leap of faith is just what the doctor ordered. Yeah, offer him a light. Seems nice. As he reaches into his pocket, you flash a lit lighter before his eyes. Or maybe you could use a healthy dose of unhealthy. For a split second, he gives you a puzzled look. Then he leans over to your lighter, puffing on a cig as it catches fire. A wry smile comes back to his lips. I like you, kid. You might look like a used car salesman, but there's just something about you. Tell you what. I was just about to head back to the crime scene, take a look around, refresh my notes. You can tag along if you want to. I could use an assistant. Someone to take notes and make wild assumptions for me to shoot down. Who knows? If you're any good, I might consider making this a long-term arrangement. Sounds good? Sure it does, kid. I'm the one who said it. He's awfully full of himself. Just one more thing. You still got me at a disadvantage here. Seems like you've done some digging on me, but with you, I've barely scratched the surface. You catch my drift? So answer me this. Who was it that sent you to my neck of the woods? Or in layman's terms, who do you work for? Sophie Langley. For the first time since you got here, the Nosferatu adopts a look of genuine surprise. His eyes wander for a moment, finally giving way to a crooked smile. So you're the one, huh? The fledgling the Toreador dame spared. Yeah, that would make sense. Don't think she'd appreciate you throwing her name around. Thanks for being up front, kid. One blink is enough for you to miss D'Angelo vanishing from his chair. Just when you're about to look around, he reappears right next to you. Up close, his smile is even more unnerving. Alright, moonlight's burning. Let's get cracking. Alright, we will investigate this Red Hook murder scene in the next episode. So, thank you guys so very much for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this one, please consider subscribing. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.